Everyone has them. These voices in their head, you know, the little voice in your head that says, maybe you should do that, maybe you shouldn't, or remember the time, or some impulse, you know, that you might have, these little things that go on. So which inner voice in your mind should you listen to? Which one is the right one to listen to? Because we often joke, you know, about having voices in our head. Some people might call it an angel on your shoulder. Some people might call it the devil on your shoulder, whatever it may be. Sometimes people call it the conscience, which scolds us, you know, when we do something that maybe we regret or think better of later. Um, the psychologists tell us that we have two voices. One is the subconscious mind and one is the conscious mind. And I, as a hypnotherapist, I would agree with that. So there is, yes, the conscious mind is the one that chatters a lot with all that negative thinking. The subconscious mind is the one that gives us the safety messages, you know, don't go in there, don't do that kind of thing. But then there's a third one that most of the time we don't hear too much about, or we hear about it in a different way. And that is the downloads, those moments of insights where, wow, this just came in, you know, the creativity moments that energize us. So each of these has its own place and function, but sometimes we get mixed up. So let's take a quick look at which one of these voices we should listen to and when. So the conscious mind is logical, and it has all the opinions and the doubts, the second guesses. It is complaining a lot. You know, it's too hot in here. Why didn't they come sooner? I've been waiting for too long, and that kind of thing. It asks questions and it repeats stories. It also loves to label. Oh, you're that kind of person. Oh, there's that kind of person. Yes. Labeling, putting things into compartments. We hear the conscious mind in our mind a lot of the time. So sometimes what we try to do when we want to get control of it is to do affirmations, meditation, and that to try and calm it down. And a lot of times that doesn't even help or work. There is a way to do it, which I've said in other, other videos. But that's the conscious mind. And so the subconscious mind, and sometimes Freud calls this the unconscious mind. This is where we are on autopilot. Have you ever been driving and you ended up somewhere that you didn't intend to go because you were in a habit? And when you get to this certain corner, you always turn right. So you get to that certain corner, you're not paying attention, you just turn right. And that's the autopilot part of us. It's where the knee-jerk reactions live. And it holds the mindsets sometimes that we follow, you know, even though we try not to, we still get into these like limiting beliefs and those kind of things. So with willingness to change, you can do that. With hypnosis, you can do that. You can change the subconscious mind, the programming underneath. Then we also have the body consciousness, where we can do sway testing, muscle testing, and that is the body, you know, and that's part of the subconscious as well. Then the third one, divine consciousness. That is when we are in tune with a higher power, source energy, whatever you want to call that. And we get these downloads. We get this feeling of knowing more, like an insight. I had one of those happen when I was thinking about karma and what is karma and the karmic path. And I made a visual and put it on my YouTube channel because that was like a download. That was divine consciousness coming through. And we have these, you know, these synchronicities, like thinking about an old friend and they call, or thinking I need to go into this restaurant, and then you meet someone there that changes your life. And those kind of impulses. And Abraham Hicks calls them impulses. So divine consciousness doesn't use a whole lot of words. It mostly communicates in pictures, concepts, ideas, flashes of insight, and it's very positive and loving. It never scolds us. The conscious mind is always scolding. The subconscious mind is often afraid. And the divine consciousness brings us so much peace, confidence, and this feeling of being okay. So how do we tell the difference? And which one should we listen to? So here are some questions you can ask yourself when you're in that moment. Decisions, a lot of times you'll have a decision to make and you're like, the conscious mind is saying, oh, you remember what happened last time, that trouble is there, and the subconscious mind is saying, people who do this, they have problems, I know that, this mindset stuff comes up. And then you have another thought about the impulse to do it. So which one should you listen to? And here are some questions to ask yourself. First of all, is this voice, this particular one you're listening to right now, the one you're thinking about, is it chattering? Is it soft? Is it strong? What kind of feeling does it have? And then when you think that thought that you're trying to decide, do you feel weak or do you feel strong? Really important. Does the thought of this thing make you feel alive and wonderful, or does it make you feel scared? Does it make you feel calm or edgy? How do you feel when you think that thought that you're trying to decide whether to listen to it or not? Do you have a pleasant feeling, or are you feeling edgy and worried? And another thing, where is it coming from? Is this thought chattering up here in your mind, or is it coming from your body? And you'll get a sense of it. When you think that thought, just tune in and say, where is that coming from? And you'll get a feeling of where it is. Divine guidance is always soft and strong. It always comes from the torso, from the body, the heart, and it brings about a pleasant feeling and peace and quiet to the mind. It is a knowingness. It doesn't have a lot of words. The subconscious mind is also gentle, but it is like autopilot and dread, the butterflies in the stomach feeling like, oh, something's going to happen, or that knee-jerk reaction. And the conscious mind is like static on a radio. It just babbles and babbles. So when you're looking for which one to listen to, I always go back to Abraham Hicks, because Abraham says, follow feeling good. So how do you know if that voice that is going on in your mind is telling you to stop or not do it because your subconscious limiting beliefs are speaking? Or is it because of divine guidance that you're in trouble here, you shouldn't do it? And the way to know is if you feel strong when you think that thought, or if you feel weak. And if you feel better, or if you feel worse. So listen and feel, because decisions are made in the feeling space. And that's where you go for it. Hope this helped. This is an article on Medium. And so I'm going to put the link down below if you'd like to read it or share it. I would really appreciate it on medium.com. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye.